大家好，我是 Ting， 我们今天继续来玩《天国降临：救赎2》。好啊，先跟大家说声抱歉哈，一阵子没有更新啊。那一方面是因为漫威争锋新赛季嘛，啊，我有爬分。不得不说，这一季开始真的是挺难爬的。这个大师2是掉到这个黄金2，那等于说黄金就已经是当前的大师段了。那我后来是死拼活拼打到白金2。基本上是现在的白金是白金2啦，大概是天神跟大师还有一些下面打上来的人的一个混打，所以其实有一点实力会很不均衡，有时候很碾压的场会非常碾压啊。看来我实力是还不太够了啊，后来就不晓得是被 ELO 还是怎么样，就一路连输9场吧，还10场，然后掉到白金3，还差一点负分再输一场，还好最后一场对面有一个我们延长赛打到第7回合，他们受不了有人中离了，大概是很不爽，死守住在这个白金3个位数。然后还有一个就是我最近又感冒了，下礼拜6哪个小逼崽子传染给我，对，所以我又有发烧了，对，所以有休息了几天。那今天万一有什么咳嗽或什么的，就请大家见谅。好，那我们今天的一个比较重要的我换上这个领主的这个外套了。我说实在的，我觉得没有我们骂的那些这个搭配起来的好看。说实在的，所以也就那样吧。我上次杀完他们东西，我有卖掉嘛，没什么印象。好，我记得我们是要去当这个侍从嘛，所以看起来有些东西要换下来。先穿上装备要的东西。这有任务标记吗？有任务标记。禁止我们带武器吗？应该没有。好吧，先这样吧，先去报道，然后终于可以见到我们的西吉斯蒙德了。攻向，好，转个档。等一下，这佛里杜什会有对话吗？目前没有。
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
还蛮多理由的。选他身体不适还是教堂祷告啊？一个比较有中世纪的这个请假的这个感觉。选上教堂祷告好了。
He's in church. He's been there on his knees for 2 days from dawn to dusk. I suppose he committed some awful sin. Got a very fat penance.
Did he have to go and confess now, when he's supposed to report for duty? Well, what can I do? You'll have to stand in for him. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokai or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Remember who wants what?
That too, but more importantly, do not disturb the councillors at their work. They have a lot to discuss, and in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
如何斟酒？倒错酒，延误或送错酒太多次，客人因此发怒。贵腐酒跟修道院，贵腐就是白，修道院就是红。OK。
There are the pictures of wine.
Our current
splash anyone's shoes.
is a joke. And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
Hey, boy, a full cup of monastery wine.
I'm What's that thing? That hand cannon.
I apologize, sir. Which wine?
Am I speaking in Latin?
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have
sir.
better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König
Thank you,
surely
waiter.
knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight?
I'd like some
The
monastery
merciful king.
Refill my cup, boy.
I apologize, sir.
And his
Which
army
wine?
will not be here
Monastery red.
Shut up! The
Good
king
sir.
can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
Well, thank the Lord.
sitting atop the biggest
我发现要这
silver
样
heap
看比
in
较
the
清楚。
kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more
Tokai,
than familiar
and a full
with
cup.
the yeomanly state of our armory. The king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe
I apologize,
if he waived
sir.
some of the taxes.
Which wine?
White
king
Tokai.
fear.
白酒。
Just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around.
Good, sir.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Hey, youngster, some red.
又要红，一边倒酒一边听，还真是有点麻烦。
Baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
Sir?
But I hear the Hopring baths are more of a pigsty.
They still are a bit, but the quality went downhill at Adams.
扎吉子
What?
啊靠！不该给他喝酒。
I thought you were a frequent customer there. Or has he grown tired of pampering you for free?
It's not about me at all. Our town's best interest.
More wine, Master Bailiff?
I have enough wine. I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
该死，还去帮他跑
So
腿。
what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the black?
我好想看这边的对话。
To punish the wicked.
Nice. Whose silver might this be?
Arguing about who is going to wash where and how.
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
Do you ever walk the streets? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense. Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates
pour
him.
me some monastery
He can hate
wine.
all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me?
Sir?
You know full well. Everybody knows.
Well,
he wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any time now.
Hey, that's right. Let's not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Me? Compose myself.
Sir?
Thank you, waiter.
Franz, please continue.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard?
Hey, waiter.
Besides,
pour me some Takar.
if his men attacked yours, as I've heard...
哇，这些人真会喝，开会前就这样好吗？
Rutard, true, but in this case, he really wants nothing.
Boy, everyone in the city gossiped about it.
Wine.
I heard
White.
there were several
Apologise, sir.
dead.
Which wine?
White
Sir?
Tokai. Well, thank the Lord.
He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. I could understand it with mercenaries, students, and other scum of all kinds, but city councillors?
Be specific,
Waiter,
Suka.
get me white.
Are you blaming one of us?
And look who spoke first.
Sir?
哇，你这叫还敢使唤我们？
Don't hang around me. Vanish, you hear me?
I didn't even take part in it.
As you wish.
The only reason
Sir,
you're still here on the council and not in the pillory.
If you want to blame somebody, you should point the finger at the youngster here who's...
Excuse me?
Ah, never mind.
I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us. It's now run by the German
Refill, sir.
Menhar.
Do you think I come to the council just to guzzle wine? Come here!
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now, but if you disappear for a little while...
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
真是妈的王八蛋！
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles.
That was easy
Strong
enough.
四
And he
吧
wanted me to count the winged figures.
哇操！
If I threw out
24，等下是双嘛？2、
soon be out of customers.
4、
Hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. By wasting
6、8。双嘛，下面这边还有吗？恶魔的算不算？一双吧。
So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 24, sir.
And you counted correct. Good. Here you are, so you can have a bit of fun in the evening too, eh?
哇靠，他还给点赏钱，
Of the church is dragging on, and
这
in the
是无聊的
meantime,
有钱
they
人
are。calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery,
You there, lad.
and they are going to mock a
cup
royal
of
mining
bread.
city. Why can't hire more craftsmen? Start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen are a fact.
Sir?
You, lad. You look familiar to me. Have we met?
Well, naturally. I go to your tavern almost every day.
Really? Then you must have decent wages to be able to visit the best tavern in town regularly.
这就是请我们喝酒的那个
You are right. And as
那
for
个酒店
you,
老板。
Gwendolyn, haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Okay.
Like, for
And a full
instance,
cup.
that you'd like to have your...
Side nave is mine. When hell freezes over, my friend, your place is at least... two
Boy,
steps
are you
behind mine.
deaf or something? Wine. White. It's you? I see you've come up in the world. From a bathhouse boy to a waiter. You'll go a long way.
It was a lot more fun in the bathhouse.
You're a merry soul, lad. I like that.
哎，我们刚好解这些支线都刚好会遇到这些议员，
If that's all they
搞
have,
不好有解
they
支
would
线
be
才会触
defeated
发
by
这些
that
特殊
bunch
对
of
话。
ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course.
You
People
there,
from the old
lad,
town go to
a
watch
cup of
some
red,
war.
and don't you skimp on me.
This is news.
All out. Ah, yes, I had forgotten.
Come now, waiter. I wanted red. Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Juchek Össe, Alegiop Katonaikat, Ich Kelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Unlike this band of fools!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Gutenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try.
没想到这边竟然是操作哥德温呢，哎，不错了。就是他们讲的，因为战马有可能要应该是有可能要开发新作嘛。那看起来可能是胡斯战争，然后因为胡斯战争主角80%大概率会是继续是汉斯卡彭，但是亨利其实应该还是作为一 一个假想人物，应该还是有机会可以客串嘛。他们就讲说，其实之后亨利应该像这一代哥德温串场的方式一样来登场，偶尔可以操纵他。个人觉得也会蛮不错的。看到一个这个中年幸福发肥的这个亨利也蛮不错的，我猜啦，对。
Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malishov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
啊，原来这里是哥德温的老家。杰士卡又喝醉了。这个没得对话。啊，拉拜。其实英都叫拉拜，可是中文叫拉比。对。
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling,
He's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Excuse me. I'd better not drink.
Better communion wine than kosher, is it?
原来他这么简单，就在这边把三缪尔的这个身世给交代了。哦，没有铺垫，我是被人家剧透，我本来也不晓得，我其实很干，因为我看了一个影片叫什么最5个还6个最糟的选择，引这个 Kingdom Come 2的，然后发现他妈的他说什么，哎，你没有去救山穆尔还是什么的，妈的干，没有去救你的同父异母的兄弟什么的，哎，他在这边就直接这样交代了，不过也不错，因为他是跟哥德温讲，所以其实以主角视角亨利而言，他其实是还不小的。现在就是我们哥德温什么时候遇到他，然后有没有这个时机去把它讲出来，这样。这样的编排挺有那个影集的感觉，因为它这个是多视角。如果是一般游戏的话，一般都是主要主角群的视角，对，比较有少会感觉好像另外一条线也同时在进展的感觉，还不错，这种感觉还行。哎，他也可以单独对话。
Everything all right? You look a bit out of sorts.
I can't wait for it to end so we can get out of here.
I reckon you'd have to be pretty brave to come and mingle with the Kuttenberg lords.
Or pretty pissed off.
Or that.
We will leave as soon as we can. Anyway, all of these worthy gentlemen will be relieved when we are out of sight.
Would you tell me something about your community? I haven't found out much so far.
What can I tell you? It was never exactly glorious. And now especially, everyone is quaking that what is still left to us will be taken away.
Surely it won't be that bad.
There are many fools who would rather take out their gall on us and start to fight among themselves. In times of uncertainty, it is always the sons of Israel who are the first to be stricken.
这就是讲到中世纪犹太族群永远融不入的问题了，因为他们算是异教徒，对，每次都是拿他们来出气，免除借贷，哎，就这样。然后圣列兹敦斯登可以对话，就这样。那边里面应该隔壁房间应该还有，去看一下城堡。阿伯斯啊，一个很方正的一个小城堡。啊，他是不能对话的，哎呦。啊，昆兹林在这。
But understand that my absence from the city council will have serious consequences.
I understand. I appreciate your coming here all the more.
I'll have to justify myself before the council. and come up with some
应该
reasonable
是其中一个议会成员吧，他没来。
Maybe you can say you were investigating a conspiracy against the crown.
I was thinking something like that as well. And in truth, I wanted to discuss this with you.
I'm listening.
I've come into possession of evidence against Anna of Wildstein.
Of course. Half the city can't stand the sight of Bartosz's widow.
And rightly so. She spends Bartosz's money on food and wine. She acts all pious and sighs in church like she's moved by the sermon. But she should do some reading on intemperance.
You're confusing crime with sin, my friend. And when you get a taste of my wine, maybe you'll sin too.
I have enough evidence to charge her. She's in cahoots with that scum from the Jewish quarter.
Be careful with your words. Haven't you noticed the rabbi is in the main hall?
How could I not notice him? A strange fellow, I tell you. And that companion of his. Hellfire burns in his eyes.
I've been wondering myself what they're doing here. But back to Anna. What are you planning?
I want to present this evidence to the council as a way of deflecting any suspicions. And it'll also serve your cause well. Anna is drawing unnecessary attention to herself, which could really invite a lot of trouble for you.
If you think so, I hope we're not nurturing any more vipers in our bosom.
Only time will tell. As long as it's just talk, food and drink, you have allies aplenty. But when push comes to shove and someone loses their property, their position, or the roof over their head...
Tell me something I don't know. Every one of them is afraid what happened to Ruthard in Malashov will happen to them.
They congratulate themselves that the king took his wrath out on him, and they got away. For now.
And that's why we need to act and decide how to proceed together.
你讲得很正，讲得还蛮实际的哈。像刚刚那个国王就很气嘛，他其实恨不得把这议员全开除。我看起来这些议员应该是之前就是议员，那只是就算应该算是西吉斯蒙德来了之后，可能就是就墙头草吧，对。西吉斯蒙德大概也是为了稳定什么的，可能没有把他们全部清算，但是看起来现在就是又想清算他们。那这样会不会这些市议员又倒戈向亲这个温塞斯拉斯派呢？这就不知道了。这个沃克兰拉布拉邦，我们来跟他对话一下。
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin-Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
So, be so kind as to enlighten me.
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity. It was only due to my acquaintances in a court that I escaped execution.
Oh. I thought it was Henry who saved your neck.
My neck was not at risk in Malashov. I may have still been a prisoner with my personal freedom restricted. But they never broke my spirit.
You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
这家伙不会是双面间谍吧？他刚刚的那个，我们好像有点过于简短了，他这个指挥防守的过程。
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
As it happens, I've got nothing better to do anyway.
Excellent. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain... shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
这样算挑衅吗？
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
为什么要做球给他？
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths, and also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome, because it would mean slow but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunststadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
啊，所以我讲错了，他是唯一一个保留席位的啊，看起来快被干掉了。那这样西吉斯蒙德那就更气啦，等于这些人是他提拔上来的，然后还这么后知后觉，合理。
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a
male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
I'd rather discuss those alliances sober.
哦，不喝酒失去声望是什么意思？我记得他刚好有叫我去找这个阿努什跟拉齐格，那两个家伙死哪里去了？没看到。在外面吗？还真的在外面。
Take a look at that. A nightingale, sir.
哦，这个没有翻译啊，漏翻抓到。
Russian, he's setting the stage for his
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible conversation. Unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mines, they were born with silver spoons up their asses. And they think that can turn their blood blue.
But surely they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again. Let's hope he'll take better care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, war will make a man of him soon enough.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood, so others can live in freedom.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile, help the former to keep their losses to a minimum.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest. Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord.
知道他这边在暗示什么吗？有玩过一代人就知道，那个戴维斯领主的老婆亨利解任务到后来是有跟他睡过的，所以其实那是亨利的私生子。我一代我有印象，就是那个戴维斯是有他老婆是后来有派任务，他什么要去帮他赛马、拿酒啊，什么弓箭比赛的。我只是不知道最后有能成功睡他。不晓得是不是有一些人怕审核，所以把那一段剪掉。魔鬼没有对话，太可惜了。豆子魔鬼的语音真的蛮想听一听。好了，那回去说服当说客，说服那3个领主吧。这边还有人。约布斯特不知道跑去哪里。
They're without honor. We're trying to forge an alliance against our common enemy.
They're trying to.
哦，这个是玩骰子。
They remember well how
跟杰斯卡对话。
You seem a bit out of sorts. Anything wrong?
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies are nothing for me. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went and what my boys have to do next.
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze, and the gossip.
Oh, and have you heard anything interesting here?
It seems Liechtenstein's looking for allies. For his own ends.
And how's he gonna do it? Didn't you see them all fighting tooth and nail here just a while ago?
Well, different approaches work with different people.
The only approach that'll work with Sigismund is open resistance. Maybe on the field of battle?
Let's hope young Lord Capon manages to stay free for a while longer. Ever since leaving Ratai, he's gone from one pile of trouble to another.
That's one thing you can always count on him for. I'll gladly wager with you he'll end up in some other shit by evening.
God forbid. Henry's not here now to pull him out of it.
In that case, it'll be up to you. I'm sure you wouldn't leave him to disgrace himself in front of Hanush.
A lot of people think the wealthy burghers will stick with Sigismund, whether out of fear or convenience.
Well, that's to be expected. As long as Sigismund has the city council under his thumb, no one will rock the boat.
Well, at least there's a few individuals here, like Ruthard.
Sigismund confiscated his castle and half his estates. That'd be enough to make a man mad. Not to mention that his son was killed in the siege of the city.
这个昆斯达的波斯切克，应该是主要目标。好，来对话一下。
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips, and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
他这个老人的脸模式好像是新的，之前没有看过，没有看过市民是这种脸。
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Ruthard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
年轻的卡彭领主，太好。先问一下列支敦斯登，他愿不愿意？
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
伊卡不会想嫁给老头。
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place, as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
被逼婚的卡彭，他也没有那么爽，他的好日子到头了。这算不算是另一种囚禁呢？失去自由，刚恢复自由没多久，又另一种意义上的失去自由，太棒了！九个党。
It's quite unusual to see him cornered like this.
I'll bet my last groschen he's setting the stage for his final performance. I hope there'll be no singing. I've had a few nightingales, and they all screeched like the devil.
Be careful with those groschen, my friend.
What is this about?
Oh, nothing. An old grievance.
A little misunderstanding involving a big pile of counterfeit groschen.
How big a pile?
Big enough for that bastard Istvan to raise a small army. He caused us a shitload of trouble.
I heard about that Hungarian pussack. But he was dangerously clever. And as slippery as a bag of eels.
Even though Jobst is right, I'm in favor of decisive action. We can no longer afford to wait.
As if I didn't have enough on my plate already. Like my ward, who I can't leave unattended for a few days without him damn near getting executed.
Oh, go easy on him. It wasn't his fault. And you said you forgive him.
But for the last time. Those shenanigans of his have got to stop.
Ah, young Lord Capon is an adult now.
But he doesn't act like it, damn it.
So marry him off.
What?
Find him a wife. That'll straighten him out in no time.
Well, now that you mention it...
He'll sire a few brats, and he'll be as tame as a lamb. And happy.
An interesting idea, don't you think, Hanush? Maybe he really needs a firm woman's hand.
Don't you start too. Am I supposed to find him a bride? On top of everything?
No burger's daughter, but... them merchants would bleed you dry before you could say dowry.
好，这边就在铺梗了，哎，都是安排好的。你看我看他录多久？光是对话就对话蛮多，不过我蛮喜欢的，这有那种看影集的感觉。
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? My Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, I explained to him how such an alliance could be mutually beneficial.
Mutually? What do you mean?
He's got a pretty serious personal interest in this... bond.
Stop beating around the bush and spit out what you promised him.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
I must sadly decline, sir.
I'll take that personally.
我不敬酒，每个人都记仇，但是又没差。哥德温又不是我们主要扮演者，对不对？我不相信不敬酒，最后后续会有什么问题。
It still hurts.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein is behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
You manage large estates. In return for your generosity, we offer you protection.
I've managed quite well up to now, taking care of my own resources. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Haman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Haman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
啊，没想到竟然是要帮他弄伪造文件，该不会失败吧？看一下马夫有没有什么对话的，可以把它支开。
What brings you here? God bless.
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
可以把用跟他玩骰子把它支开吗？ 14极难应该是不够。
Shall we roll some dice? I'm sure you can take a little breather, eh?
Well, all right, but just for a little while. I'll wait at the table over there.
先存个档。给他玩吧，直接。
Come on then, show us what you can do. Unless you're playing for the first time.
不能够直接说他不玩。600分，650分，好，算分并跳过。好久没有玩骰子，他怎么也3个6？哇靠！
That'll do me. Roll. It looks pretty bad, eh?
哇靠！好惨啊，我们这什么骰印
？Here. Like this.
哦，我靠！赛啊
！Finished. Your turn.
3个3，再赌一下好了。还要再赌吗？不要再赌了。但我觉得我应该是输了，因为他随便骰就300分。我们第2 round 一个都没有，太夸张了，这还没有触发过。啊，输了。
Great, and it's mine. You're out of luck, my boy.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
My lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
好，不能拒绝女士的邀请。好朋友，先不要跟他对话。这3个都是可以对话。
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame, as always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Yeah. Look in my eyes, not at my sword.
That will do. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. You could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. and tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
这样算达成了吗？啊，也是一个惨遭，这算什么？这是亚洲父母教育，欧洲发生的亚洲父母教育。对哈，我们婚礼安排成，他回报哈。
Zabocek, your niece Yivka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord King.
Here's to a good bargain.
卡彭，卡彭被卖啦，称斤称两的卖啦。应该没有对话了吧？我还要去跟卡彭讲吗？读个档好了，看一下他们什么反应，然后我们再读档。
I've got some good news and some bad news for you.
The bad news is there's hardly any females in this whole damned place. There's some old bat standing there with two young girls, but she watches over them like a mother hen. So at least tell me the good news.
You're going to get married.
Good one. Is she at least pretty?
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You're really a barrel of laughs, Godwin. Wait till Hanush hears this. Now, enough nonsense. Let's have a drink to your health and my freedom.
To your health.
他拒绝相信这件事情，还蛮好笑的。哦，合理的反应。哎呀，这些人真是假的，都是假的幻觉。好了，我们就不要打扰他做梦了。
But maybe you were right. It was probably not the best night.
昆兹林还是可以对话的。
Sir Kunzlin, I haven't yet had the pleasure.
You're Godwin, aren't you? I've heard about you from Martin.
Oh dear.
Have no fear. I know Martin well, and I know he's prone to exaggeration. Anything I can do for you?
Will you support Margrave Jobst's plan?
That depends on what it is. If he decides to just wait, then no. I can't take that risk any longer.
Do you think we should look for help somewhere else?
I came here for one reason alone. To hear a plan of attack against Sigismund. If Jobst doesn't lay one out before me, I'll try and find someone more courageous.
I expect you know Lady Anna of Waldstein well.
Why wouldn't I? She's joined at the hip with my daughter Rosa.
I hope she doesn't feel unwelcome here. I've heard she's a bit of a thorn in the side for some of the gents here.
To her own relatives, certainly. But I'll tell you one thing. I knew her husband, Wenzel,
and he married her out of love. Anna cared for him devotedly till the day he died. And it wasn't a quick death.
So it's not true what they say? That his demise was convenient for her?
Vile slander. People just can't forgive her for coming into a fortune as a young widow.
What do you think of the rabbi's offer? The Kuttenberg Jewish community is large, and their support could change everything.
Or nothing. To be honest, I've no idea what to expect of the rabbi's offer.
He said he was interested in an alliance, though, didn't he?
Aye, but still he must be aware that whatever happens, it won't change the lot of his people.
So you don't trust him?
And isn't it natural? It's not just fate and the walls of their quarter that separates us. They live in our city, but they're more foreign than the Germans or the Hungarians.
哎呀，这对犹太人的排挤啊，没有办法。中世纪几千年来，应该能够对话的都对话完了。好，来跟约布斯特侯爵对话。
Together all the lords under one roof.
At other times, I would celebrate hearing you admit a mistake, Margrave. But if I were you, I wouldn't lose faith just yet. Sometimes all you need to do is send the right man to whisper the right words into the right ears.
You mean you managed to convince someone? Someone influential?
Not at all. I managed nothing. But I have found someone who could pull a thorn out of our side and get some influential people to join our cause.
And who is this secret envoy of yours? I'm still hoping it works out and we walk out of here with a clear...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. and our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them.
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swill pot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This whole council is a farce. The whole city knows it.
Lord of Sargitz, your insolence just cost you your place on the council, and a month in the dungeon.
But...
Hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is over, Your Majesty.
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, That would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? We have enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy. Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities. And get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, Your Majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red white, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly!
It's use again. Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
哇，已经醉成这个样子。刚刚那个任务就很明显了，我们这边就是要被偷袭了，要被一锅端了。
Driver shit. You fuck a bit, then die.
Oh, the piglet!
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only, there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
Get sniffing. 快去嗅一嗅。
But it's going to take time.
第一取得一壶葡萄酒。这一壶吗？好像不是。
So you keep saying.
Hey, Mick! Fucking singers, mate.
哎，他老爹死哪里去了？
That is about to change.
How'd you like our wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if you'd only known he had a real connoisseur here.
Best barrels? Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the taste is of little consequence.
Baron Vacuum. I'm filled with grief.
Do you get it, Father?
Please, call me Rabbi, Lord Capon.
Oh, whatever. Fuck it.
And you should not curse either.
See? You talk exactly the same as our holier-than-thous.
What is bothering you, young man? You should rejoice that you are to be married.
But I didn't ask for a wife. I wanted to prove that I was worthy of the name of my house. Earn a reputation. Travel the world. And maybe later, one day...
Then you might be dead, sir. Think about the future. You need an heir.
But they could have at least asked me. What if she's some ugly monster?
Then she will be a rich monster. And God willing, the children will take after you.
Anyway, I need more wine to wash down my pain. Will you drink with me?
I shall not, son. Intemperance is against God's commandments.
Ha! Told you! You're the same as our priests. But, to your credit, you actually practice what you preach.
可怜的卡彭，哎。
Sorry, have you got some time to spare?
From cleaning up this pigsty? Any time.
I've come to rescue you from work and responsibilities.
Really? Why don't you save that sweet talk and tell me what you want?
Well, it occurred to me we could maybe spend a little time together.
Of course. What else? Do you play dice?
You mean strip dice?
You strip if you like. Either way, you'll end up bare-arsed and with an empty purse.
I'll give that a miss, thanks.
Not up to it? Eh? Look, if you want a bit of fun, go and see Dasha. She slept with half the fortress. And the whole village.
I need help with something. Do you know where I might be able to find the wine pitchers? I mean the ones with the really good wine that the Lord saves for his nearest and dearest.
And you're one of those?
I should say so. I'm his son.
And I'm the king's daughter. Anyway, I don't know nothing about no wine. In case you haven't noticed, I'm sweeping the floor, and I'm about to mop up vomit. Try asking my ma. She's the cook here.
老妈是吧？
Scarecrow.
这个椅子是穿模是吧？ 他老妈去哪了？
Having a good time? It's a fucking bore. These old farts here have no idea what fun is.
Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food.
Even a few females worth the sin. I'd rather have a game of dice. Or a good punch-up.
Don't you dare get into a fight with anyone. You know what a fuck-up that would be.
Aye, I forgot. Only the younger Lord of Rabors is allowed to give anyone here a pasting. And his own kin at that.
Leave it out. They forced my hand.
No, they wouldn't have to force me. That young nitwit was asking for it anyways.
瘦子魔鬼没什么太多特别的对话。
It would make a lot of things easier, you.
And how should I interpret this question?
In the simplest terms, I'm offering you a business deal, without any ulterior motives. I am far too old for some sentimental courtship.
You're amusing. But you know my answer. I appreciate your friendship. But I'd rather run my own affairs.
I understand. Let's at least drink to your success.
And let's drink to the future of Lady Yitka. May her marriage to Lord Capon bring her happiness.
They're young. They'll have plenty of time to cultivate that happiness.
Well, the groom isn't looking too happy at the moment.
Have you ever thought about getting married again?
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush? Raise an army, prepare a wedding feast and all that?
All hail Jobst. He sorted things out here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's more than I wanted to give him. But you know how it goes. Give them a finger. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with Hanush where the wedding will take place?
Nothing to discuss. The wedding will take place at our castle Lititz, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be much.
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Ratai. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have the wedding there.
What? In Ratai? Well, I ought to look into that then.
But deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's messenger anymore.
Have you ever thought about getting...
说的也是，他可能也没去过拉泰，中世纪的生活嘛，就是这样子。
Good evening, my esteemed lady. I haven't yet had the opportunity to make your acquaintance.
No matter. I know who you are. Although Martin hardly spoke of you, from what I heard, I could conjure up a pretty good picture.
No offense, ma'am. But whatever picture you paint of me, I have reason enough to believe it's mistaken.
Indeed. So the stories of how in your youth you used to drag a different chambermaid to your bed every night is nothing but slander?
And I also heard that you once fell drunk into the trench in front of the fortress, horse and all.
All right, I confess to that one. But nothing happened to either me or the horse.
And is it not true that one of your paramours made off with your late mother's jewelry?
We are all sinners, Mom. And besides, that was 20 years ago. A person can change a lot in that time.
Unquestionably. My husband is living proof of it. No more than I.
Is your husband here too? I don't believe I've had the honor.
You won't find him here. He stayed at home in our fortress. He suffers from gout and doesn't like long journeys.
Or any journeys for that matter. Even where the king goes on his own 2 feet, my husband has to be carried by 3 servants.
All his life he gorged himself on meat, pastries, and wine, and now he's paying for it.
Would you kindly introduce your 2 companions?
This is Lady Christina, second wife of Lord Binyik of Nostitz. She's standing in for him here today.
Nice to meet you, sir.
How come your husband didn't come?
Because he's been rotting for nearly a year in the king's captivity.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mom. I pray that God shall return him to you soon.
I've been praying for it since the day I got word of his captivity. Perhaps worldly powers will come to our aid once the promised army turns up. One hopes.
应许的军队现身之时，世俗的力量，这个说明大家不是真的那么迷信，还是知道世俗之间还是要有一些努力，可能情况才会发生变化。对，这个台词写的就不错。
What's your opinion of the outcome of today's assembly?
That it's about time. Although at the onset it looked like everyone here would carry on arguing like fishwives at the market. But in the end, it seems the agreement arrived at will bear fruit.
It's been a pleasure, my lady.
And this here is Lady Helena of Dvorets, my niece and ward.
God be with you, sir.
Please excuse her. This is her first time at such a large gathering.
You're fortunate, miss. Your aunt sets you a good example. And I'm sure she won't leave you to the mercy of the gentlemen present.
Yes, Lady Matilda has always kept a close eye on me.
And I know what I'm doing. Don't think I'm not aware of how some fellows look at you.
Are you well acquainted with our hosts?
Only a little. Sir Martin Oderin and his son have been to visit at Lady Matilda's on several occasions.
They come to me for advice on selecting horses. If it hadn't been for me, that mule he's bragging about to everyone here would have cost him twice as much.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Mom. It's been a pleasure, dear ladies.
没有特别想，哇，这我们老爹。
I beg your pardon.
May I interrupt you for a moment?
You already did, didn't you?
What's the matter?
One of the most esteemed guests ordered more wine. Where might I find it?
All over the place. Are you blind?
I meant the really fine wine. The kind that Martin Oderin would drink.
No way. Sir Martin ordered for it to be served only to him and a few of his favorites.
Oh, come on. If I go and get it myself, there's no risk to you. At worst, I'll take the blame.
All right. Them pictures are on a table in the cellar. But you didn't hear it from me.
Now off you go and leave us alone.
好了，举个酒，还有没有什么谁可以对话？反正每次就是这样，乐极生悲。这边一开始很开心，等一下就落赛。对，这个是这游戏屡试不爽的这个套路。 靠，倒错了。
The red'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootheart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty. Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Jesus! They're surrounding Christopher! He can't make it on his own!
Don't spare him!
剑术这么好，哪？
哈哈 That'll teach you! The next blow will send you to hell! Hey, Santo!
Nice!
One step back! Yeah! I'm bleeding! We'll kick your ass! Now! The saints should see this! And you'll soon be leading them! Alright, this is how we fight! Fuck that! Fight! I'll hack you to pieces! Good! And he's still standing! No, you don't.
Bash him on the head!
That's his faces!
Wow,
yes! That's his faces! You won't get me!
You'll kick! Too slow!
You're one ugly bugger!
Next one will be in your face! Show what you're made of! Fuck that!
I'm hit! Yes! That's his
他妈的录多久了？
I shouldn't leave now.
才刚好2个小时，那还好。等一下，我要读个档，刚刚没有拯救成功弟弟，妈的！不行，我一定要救到弟弟。击退入侵者应该是这个，不对，这是解完保护弟弟这边。 还有点硬，不晓得是不是哥德温的剑术等级不够，有点打不太动。
Jesus! They surrounded Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
Jesus! I'm hit!
I'll be done with you in a flash. Back.
Yes! That's his face! What now?
Slice him off!
You lived like a wretch, and now you'll die like one.
Hang that fucker out!
He's done for! Hey, get him! Ah! Fucking hell! Help!
No, you don't! Break the dog!
Corva.
哦，还好救到弟弟。换装换装。其实刚刚在解西吉斯蒙的那一段，我就觉得，其实他对下人还蛮客气的。他讨厌的是那些替他卖命的人的无能，算是侧面的帮他，就是树立另一种的这种亲民感吧，还有人设吧。他其实记得看巴哈介绍的，他其实很想解决问题。
You're dead.
He's had
Good, but he's still standing.
Qu'est-ce que t'attends?
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me.
Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get... Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobst long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but... not everyone was so lucky.
Where did they go? Back to Ratoi?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan. But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Yobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while.
Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother.
But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. For nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I won't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghow took them.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's enemies here in one place.
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. We have to be really careful now. One wrong move, and he'll hang the lords.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, and get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until
因为我们
morning.
没有救到那个寡妇哦，死在哪里？那寡妇是可以救的吗？我等一下有空我要去独挡，看他是不是可以救。算了，现在不是很缺钱，懒得搜刮。怎么还有一个死在车里面？
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Aulitz surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We can't give up now. It would only show Sigismund that he has nothing to fear.
Exactly. This is a test, and an opportunity to show that we stand by our allies, whatever the cost.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join. So many dead, my God.
哦，他也死了，他才刚答应出钱。
Good boy.
等一下一定要阻挡，看可不可以救他。
To knock down 3 like him.
What about you?
Yes.
Sort of bolting out the gate. This is a night.
哇靠！现在只有这些对话，What the fuck？ 还有心情打。
Shouted even louder. I don't think they heard you in the courtyard.
Pull yourselves together, damn it, and prove that this alliance isn't just a farce.
It's easy for you to say. Your fortress is safe, far away from Kuttenberg.
So what? Any one of us could have come to a bad end.
Would it be very rude
So,
to ask
you
for
think Odorin, Rutard, and Bodchek?
I don't think anything.
Side is still.
好惨的袭击啊！士气荡到最低点。
Did I not tell you we should not come here? Did I say anything like that?
Fuck. Wouldn't have helped him. That's true. We need to get you into safety.
弟弟有受伤啊。
You're the Lord of Raborsh now. I'll leave it out. At least you survived. Do you think you can make it to Sukdol? All right. Peter of Pisek is our ally. He'll surely let you stay there, at least until you get back on your feet.
哥德温好像没有对话。存个档。
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did he talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
I'll be back soon.
Hurry up. Please.
好，有个档，看一下时间。好吧，我觉得这集就到这边了。还好，我那个时候在要进这个市政厅，市政厅这个会议间的不是国王的部分，我们暂停了。我这一段主线真是有够长，等于是2个小时半，而且还没结束，我感觉后面还有半个小时。 我记得预告片之前的游戏预告片有一些在城市里面战斗的一个片段，感觉应该就是这一段。那我们可能要在犹太区里面组那种市民，可能那种犹太人可能要自己组那种民兵队，然后类似有点像是打方阵那样子，堵在这个巷道打巷战这样子，应该是那边，因为我记得预告片的那个巷子其实不宽，那蛮像犹太区的那个宽度的，所以我觉得应该等一下就是打那一段，所以应该那一段剧情应该也是蛮长的。然后，我觉得西吉斯蒙德他这个人格，他这个塑造的挺好的，为什么呢？因为他有一种亲和力，可是他又很那种杀伐果决的那种感觉。我蛮喜欢，我只能说这个游戏，怎么说呢？就是很有以前那种看电影跟影集的那种人物的这种人格塑造的一些这种差不多的套路，对，虽然是老套，但是我是蛮喜欢看的啦，对，就像美国西部牛仔片永远的经典嘛，就还是那个时代那个氛围那个人格跟那个时代的人们的这种一般的这种偏见嘛，这就是一个经典醍醐味，我是还蛮喜欢的，对。然后希望啦，后面会有更多看到西吉斯蒙德的这个场景。对，应该是他是这个游戏里面讲话最大声的人了，对，最有魄力的，对，最敢喊敢骂的一个人，因为他是国王嘛。我拉博斯我不太确定是不是有其他任务，这个城堡我猜应该解完这个主线，应该回来这边就会像瑟米涅一样，应该就废墟了。啊，不晓得那时候应该提早过来晃一下的，对，我没想到这个主线是这么的惨烈的，我是没有料到的，对。然后不过也合理啦，因为西吉斯蒙德应该知道他们聚在这边嘛，所以派人过来，应该想说是能够对峙或者是恫吓一下的，应该也没有想到人家蠢到以为他们是友军，然后直接把门打开来就直接打进来了。相信冯伯格看到应该挺无言的，觉得这帮蠢货，对，还想跟国王对抗，大概就这样吧。那我也蛮期待下一集的剧情。然后山缪尔的这个剧情，我就不太确定他之后要怎么跟亨利产生这种革命情感，因为他们甚至算是这种，他没有血缘关系，可是又算是兄弟，但是又是异教徒，所以不太确定哈。感觉后面戏份可能不会少，但是那个结局最后应该我觉得是分道扬镳了。他也可能会什么一起生活什么的，对，因为根本就等于是不同民族了嘛，不同民族又异教徒，大概就这样。啊，好吧，然后本集最大受害者这个卡彭，对，只有卡彭受伤的世界达成，不然要结婚了，宣告走进爱情的坟墓，刚获得自由，立刻又失去自由，虽然是不同程度上的自由，也是啦，卡彭是该给他吃点苦头了，蛮好的，我蛮喜欢这样的安排，而且也很现实，符合中世纪的这种婚姻结盟，然后作为一个保障。对，反正那些钱就等同当做是嫁妆了。而且他们也都不太算小贵族嘛，拉泰的2座城堡，对不对？然后刚那个昆达斯嘛，对，我记得是昆达斯嘛，看起来应该领地也不小，都算中型贵族，对，门当户对。不晓得后日谈会不会有这个卡彭的很苦逼的这个结婚生活，然后。还有一个是什么？还有一个是什么？亨利不知道的，我刚突然想到，只是突然又忘了。真的是感冒还没好呢，记忆力衰退。好了，因为这集有点长了，就这样。这集演出内容也是动画也是多到爆炸，所以确实又有的剪，大概就这样。那以上就是我们今天这个《天国降临：救赎2》的游玩内容了。那我们就感谢大家的收看，我们下次见，拜拜。